everyone, welcome to Gagajoy's cooking. Today we're going to be making salsa meatloaf. And if you ever think about it, it's the perfect combination. Your salsa has got peppers, onions, tomatoes in it, and it came out of necessity one time when I was out of ketchup. So I thought, well, I'll try the salsa. And since then, we use nothing else. And it's always a favorite, and I love making it. First of all, I think I'll put the eggs in. I use 2 eggs. And I have a 1.5 pounds of meatloaf. That's standard usually for what I make it with. And you know, it's very few things to have to wash. So it's come home from work, throw your meatloaf together, you've got it. I put a couple drops of Worcestershire, it's just because I like it. About a teaspoonful. And to make it a little hotter for us, just a few pieces of flakes of crushed red pepper. Now, that's it except for the salsa. See how the good stuff looks in, and it's fresh, so it's perfect. That's 1.5 cups. And you really don't want to mix meatloaf too much. You want it, if you do, it gets, you know, hard. I never have meatloaf left over. I love meatloaf sandwiches, but unfortunately, put a little bit of pepper in it too. There's no meatloaf left over. Also, this is a good recipe in itself just for meatballs. If you like meatballs, and I'll tell you another good thing it's for. Stuffed cabbage rolls. It's a standard recipe. Now, the last thing is I use a sleeve of saltine crackers. Now you can use other crackers, because I have, lots of times I've used Ritz, Townhouse, just a plain cracker though. I'm sure there's other crackers you can use. So, you know, it's really nice to know that we have such a variety of things we can use. Just change the taste. I'm sure there's quicker ways of doing it, and I usually break them up before I put them in. But today, running around quite a bit. I hope you've been trying some of our other recipes and passing them on to your friends and asking them to look at them and subscribe to us. And if you have any trouble subscribing, you just check in with YouTube and they'll show you how to do it. And that's it. It's a light step in this meatloaf, except putting it in a pan with parchment paper. You can't put it in a meatloaf pan. I'll tell you why I put it in this pan, because meatloaf pan just holds the water that comes out of the hamburger and the grease. This way, if you put it in a pan, that grease or water or whatever that has to come out just comes out, lays on the side of the pan, and you can just scrape it off or just remove your meatloaf, either one you want to do. I have meatloaf pans and I have used them. And this is 90-10. I always use a less fat hamburger if I'm making meatloaf than what I do with, because it's got a lot of seasoning in it already. It doesn't necessarily need that fat. Hamburgers, things like that really do need the fat. Okay. I just sort of shape it to meet the pan. And yet I like it a little bit high too. Okay. Now, I still like that layer of ketchup on top of it. And you know what? Just like always, you do, if there's something you don't like, you can just leave it out. But it's pretty much encumbered in all that. So now I'm going to put, I've been preheating the oven. Make sure your oven's at 350. I always forget that. It's but 350 for an hour. Oh my goodness, it's done. The timer went off and it looks perfect as always. Yep, I think it's done. Well, I can't wait to taste it. It's past lunchtime for me. Oh, gosh, it smells divine. Oh, bring on the meatloaf sandwiches tomorrow. Oh, this is so good. I'm sorry you can't eat it because you would love it. Well, it's been a wonderful day making meatloaf and enjoying it. And I'll have it for supper with my family. Remember the joy this week, and we'll see you soon.